This is Jeremy at AP Rhino, and today we are going to put the new AP Custom PDW stock on our Rhino Arms RA4R. So when you receive your PDW stock, you should have in the box your PDW stock assembly, your PDW carrier, and a flat wound spring. To install this, what you're going to need for tools is a Torx T25 and a castle nut wrench. You may want to use some blue Loctite as well, so you might want to have some of that available. So to start with, first thing we're going to want to do is get this old buffer out of here. So we'll press the buffer pin, pull out the old buffer and spring. Okay. Now we're going to want to loosen this castle nut up with our castle nut wrench. Break that loose. Your buffer retaining pin is in here, and this thing can shoot out of here with some force, so I always kind of like to keep a finger on that as I'm going to keep from shooting myself in the head or the ceiling. Okay, we'll unscrew the castle nut, pull the plate out, the end plate. Your spring for your D10 is right here as well, so when you start to take that loose, you're going to want to pull that out, set that aside. And then after that, holding that buffer D10 or buffer pin, you can unscrew your buffer tube. Okay. You're going to take out the buffer D10 and your spring, and we are not going to use that going back in. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is take your PDW stock assembly, and we're going to pull this apart for installation. So you're going to take out the two T25 screws off the ends of the rods. You're going to push the latch, and you're going to pull the entire assembly forward, detaching the stock and rods from the housing. You're going to pull the tube out that has a castle nut and end cap on it, and then you're going to let the assembly come forward with the two springs in it. Make sure these stay in there, don't want to lose those. Okay. Now to reinstall, you're going to take your threaded tube, push that back through the housing, and you'll have that pin that faces forward that engages your receiver. You're going to want to make sure that when you push the housing forward, that the spring goes in straight and doesn't bind, bend, or pinch. Then tighten the tube the rest of the way up to the point that it's just shy of being flush with the inside face of the receiver. So this is too far and would prevent your lower receiver from being able to close. You're going to back that off to it's right about there. Once you've got that in place, you're going to tighten up your castle nut. Get your castle nut wrench, and the spec on this is between 35 and 40 foot-pounds, but good and tight seems to usually get it done. You don't have to stake this, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to do that. Replace the existing carrier with your new carrier designed to allow the spring to come forward and engage the shoulder. So put the new carrier in. Make sure that's all the way seated. Close out the rifle. So we're going to install the latch with the L part of the latch assembly facing to the rear, two springs facing up. Start it in the slot, push it all the way up, hold it in place like this with your fingers. Take the stock assembly and start the rods through the guide hole, pushing forward until it's past the latch. Push that up and you can push them all the way forward. You're now going to take your flat wound spring. You can put your flat wound spring in the tube, walk that in, take your end cap, Push that up the rest of the way. Make sure it's all started on there good. And then screw that bad boy on until it's tight. Now you're going to carefully pull the stock back to the point that you can get the screws started on the ends of the rods. Those act as your stops. You can add some blue Loctite here if you'd like, just to make sure these guys don't back out on you. You can do that on both sides. And then you're going to tighten with that T25. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You can check this out, make sure it works. You push the latch in, stock should go forward. There's a takedown position. There's your normal fully forward position. You can push on it, shouldn't go forward, but you can pull it all the way out. Fast deploy, rock solid. So there you have it, installation of the AP Custom PDW stock.